Okay. After reviewing the film and watching the Missouri game, it was much like I thought after sitting here and visiting with you all. Um, a lot of very good things, many things to build on. Really credit the staff again with having a very good plan. Certainly, a lot that we need to get cleaned up and will. I felt like defensively making some critical stops when we had to. Uh, Offensively, really had a good grip, good control in the game, really the entire game. We got to get the fumbles situated. Obviously, another interception that slowed us down, but outside of that, really controlled the game. You know, pretty much on every possession, with the exception of uh, possession 8 for us. We went 3 and out. Outside of that, really good. So did some really good things. It's about us this week. Much the same. We need to concentrate on ourselves. Playing a very good team in Chattanooga, and we have to just focus on ourselves. It was a very physical game. Our guys were emotionally ready to play. Took a lot out of them. Played extremely hard. I'm very proud of how physical and how hard we're playing. Just want to get some details fixed up. But it's our job to get our team right here this week, continue to build on the good things we're doing, tighten up the ship on certain aspects of it, and we got a lot of good football ahead of us. So I'm very encouraged and looking forward to this challenge here this week.
Questions? Mark Devontae and Jordan went down. What's their status?
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Devontae should be good. Jordan is day to day.
What do you? I know you all been a little thin there. JJ had to play a little bit more. How do you move things around to fill those holes?
Yeah, we will. We got some ideas, and we'll continue to bring KD along, and then he can help us. He's doing some good things. He made a few critical mistakes, Saturday with some inexperience, but we have some other guys that we can fool around with as well.
It felt like those guys were in the right, both him and Jalen were in the right spots, but didn't necessarily make the plays. How important is it to get guys more reps and more game reps?
Yeah, I think you could tell after watching it for all those years, as games go along and you get more experience, the more confidence you get, and you generally make those plays. So it's a little different, when you are out there full speed in an SEC game, and you got number one out there in the perimeter. He's a pretty good little player, and he realizes that now, and with more experience, he'll come along.
Well, C-Rock reminds me of what I did when I played high school football, fumbling the ball into the end zone. Remember what my coach told me about taking care of the ball? What was perhaps the philosophical statement you made to him about doing that?
Well, we've talked about it before. I captured this. I don't pretend that it was mine. It was another coach that said it that I listened to that I thought was a good way to say that. When you have when you have the football in your hands, you have the program in your hands, and that's a pretty good statement. And I think that was Coach Fleck, if I'm not mistaken, or somebody that I heard him talking about that, and I borrowed that from him. But we talk about that. He'll get it corrected. I'm confident.
Harrison had that play there in the break at the end. And how do you feel about just how he looks out there with all the seniors and kind of how he's separated himself maybe from some of the other years?
Yeah, he's getting better. Again, just like we talked about, I think with every opportunity, with every rep, as he gets experience, you're seeing new offenses every week. You get used to playing our offense, and then, maybe game 1, game 2, but each week it'll be a little bit different, and it's just hard to gain all that experience as fast as you need it.
Are you surprised at all how quickly the guys have seemed to take into this new offense?
I'm pleased. I'm very pleased, I will say. I don't know. I don't want to use the word surprised. I'm pleased with how well they're adapting to it and how much they're picking it up. Each week we're seeing little details that we're leaving things on the field. That's the good news. We could be a lot better. I love the fact that we're doing what we need to do. You saw that in game 1. We saw, each game you look at maybe with little individual war going on or whatever. And you have to do what you have to do to be successful. First game, you saw us throwing it all over the yard. In the second game, you're seeing us with balance. You're seeing us run the ball when we have to or when we needed to. That's critical for our success. But I love the balance we're still showing. We left some yards out there on the field, but anytime, if you look at our drive chart, you go, touchdown, touchdown, interception, touchdown, and it would have been a touchdown. You get another fumble, and then you got the end of the half, and you come out and you go touchdown again, and then we had the 3 and out, the only 3 and out there, and that was a bad possession, and then we're backed up, but still have an opportunity. We have a drop on the 50, or we, maybe still be moving on that possession, and then we come out in the next possession in a tie game, and we're able to throw the ball down the field, and they have some critical throws to go back up 7, and even basically the last possession there, the one where we drive down and miss the field goal, we have some critical throws in that, critical 3rd and 6. They challenge us, put everybody in our face, and we create a big play down the field. Anytime you get a completion percentage of 18 yards per completion, it's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Do you feel that on the sideline? Like you mentioned 28-28, and like last year, that would have been a hard to come out in that situation and feel confident enough to do that. And, I think on the press box you kind of feel it.
It feels great. It feels great because, again, when they're challenging us, we take that shot and we make them pay. We make them hurt, on that 3rd and 6. That's a backbreaker. Well, actually, that was the one where we were up 7. But yeah, we definitely can. And it's also, don't underestimate how demoralizing it is when you run the ball for 12 straight plays as well. And you could do that and run it straight down the field and have an opportunity to go up 28-7 is a pretty big deal as well. Eli did some good things. He played better in this game, more consistent, played better. Yeah, our whole center and right side really played well.
Were you surprised that they were putting as many men in the box as they were on numerous occasions?
That's what they had shown. We had a good plan. Even our run game that we had where we were blocking down and pulling, we had a good plan for it. They had shown that and put on film. You go watch the Rams-Browns in 2019, you're going to see the same look. Yeah, we had,
Mark, in game 1, with all the yards you piled up and the TDs you scored, the response was, well, it's just Louisiana Monroe. How does that narrative change now that you've done that against a quality SEC opponent?
Yeah, it just, again, I like the consistency of where we're at. We're not there yet. We want to keep on working, keep on getting the details, but the fact that you can move it that well against an SEC East opponent says a lot. Again, I know it's not, but if you're looking at us, it is strictly all the coaching part of it, and you're looking at 45 points is what Liam, when you're sitting there, drawing it up, you're sitting there saying he had 45 because he can't control fumbling at the 6-inch line or getting a field goal block.
You all went and got Jaquez in the transfer portal. A lot of people just focused on his experience, but how has he kind of met your expectations? How has he played?
Well, it was a big play. It was nice to see him step up on that play. Once again, I addressed it in post game, but you look at the middle part of the game and we're in full control, and then that happens, it can flip back on you, that momentum. For us to get a stop to start the second half was big, and he made a very athletic, good play there, and then we punch it in and get the momentum back. It's a big piece of the game, so I was happy for Jaquez and happy for us, and he did some really good things in this game, one of our better defensive players in this game.
Mark,
Yeah, he has. He does some good things in the box, and he's a physical guy, but he has shown that as well. Sorry, who?
Mark, UTC's coming off a dominating 20-1 versus North Alabama. So you guys coming off of this hard-fought SEC home win, do you see this game coming up as a much-needed breather, or perhaps an opportunity to tune up or back up and regroup?
I would never use the word. You would never hear me use the word breather. That's not in our vocabulary. All the thing we're interested in is pressing on and moving forward. And any great team, no matter what the competition level is, plays to their best of their ability, and that's what we're always trying to do. We have so much to do, so much work to get caught up on. that it's always, I always say that, but it's exciting for me on Mondays, win or lose. It's on to the next opponent, it's on to the next challenge. For me, it's trying to get their minds right, and physically, this game took a lot out of us. So we've got to regroup in a hurry and get ready to play a very good football team. This team was picked to win their league, and so they're talented and could do some good things. So, no matter who we're playing, you're going to hear me always talk about us. We have respect for everybody that we play, but it's about us and how we play.
Wandale had 11 targets out of the 18 attempts. Just was that by design, or is it you take what the defense gives?
We knew going into that game that he was going to be targeted a bunch. We knew by our plan and the way they were with their matchups and their man and putting guys on you. We felt like he was going to get a lot of targets in that game.
Both Liam and Will were pleased with their decision-making after the game. How would you assess that, and any plays that you would have taken back?
I'm very pleased, with even the interception. We went to the right place, right spot. Just got to make a better throw. But very pleased with the way he's calling it, and very pleased with Will's decision making. And as the game slows down, more reps, he'll continue to get better and better. But I love the fact that we attacked when we had to attack, and we scratched where it itches when we had to do that.
Trevin I know Carrington gets a lot of love for tipping that pass, but Trevin kind of got in there as a spy and forced baseline. So is there ways you can use him? Kind of,
Yes.
I know he's a raw, but to try to get him.
It is, especially with where we're at right now with some of our outside backers and with J-Dub being banged up. There is some roles, and yeah. Don't ask me anymore, so I can't keep on going into it. All right, so, yeah. Thank you for pointing that out, though.
When
Yeah.
you went back though on that, just looking at the D-line, was it as bad as it might have looked at times from our perspective as far as pass?
There's still some things that just are aggravating for us, that we got to clean up. It's a guy here, a guy there. Certain things that we could tidy up and execute better, and that's where you have to have it, and you can't have one guy making a mistake or one person running a stunt that's not, one D lineman running it, one not, just little things that we'll continue to work on.
Mark, you ran the ball against Mizzou. Really, they couldn't stop you for the most part. We've seen that in the past from you. But will you look to throw a little more, though, with this new offense, just to try to keep it honest, or just keep running until they make you stop?
Again, I mean, we're gonna get better at the pass game. We already have, and I think that was evident in both games. No matter what the statistics say, even though they're pretty impressive. Again, 18 yards per completion is not bad. I'll take that. 10 yards per attempt compared to theirs was 8.6 yards per completion, and ours was 18. We'll continue to do what we need to do to get better, and we'll take what they give us each game.
You know if Liam has ever run the ball 52 times?
I doubt it. I don't know. I doubt it. He's a quarterback by nature, so I doubt it. But again, the only time we were in run overdrive was the end of the first half, and again, you'd be stupid not to, at that point. I mean, we ran it 12 plays in a row because we could.
Mark, on the screen to Rick on that scoring drive where you went up 35 points, I think that's 28 yards.
That was a great play call. Yeah.
Vince gets a lot of credit for that because he was telling him.
Well, Vince wants the ball thrown to the tight end all the time. Yeah.
You got a new offensive coordinator, you got a new offensive line coach,
Yeah.
you got a new receivers coach. How are those guys working together? I mean,
No,
when you get a lot of guys who didn't know each other before they got here, or some of them didn't know each other.
No, they're working together very well. The camaraderie is very good. Love our staff, and a lot of guys that are unselfish and just worried about the team, and that really was a great play call and at the right time, and it was dressed up very effectively. They hit us with some good screens as well, with some good, the way they were set up was very effective as well.
Do we need to start worrying about special teams yet, or how?
Well, no, we're fine. I mean, Wilson's not. He's not flipping the field like we'd like. You know, he's dealing with an injury, and we'll see where it's at. You know, he's doing the best he can. The field goal, you know, obviously is a concern, and we that's easily corrected. We have some people up front that did something they don't normally do, and didn't on the kick before, so we'll get that fixed.
So it was a blocking problem and not the way
Yeah, it was a blocking problem. Yeah, with the way they came through with what happened, I mean, really had no chance because I thought it was a little low too to begin with, but there's definitely a mistake on the blocking part.
Had Josh out there on the last, I think it was the last punt return, just, you know, because Wandell, I mean, he got hit or whatever. But Wandell, when he's back there, it looks like he almost wants to take off every time, like he's sort of moving there a lot. Is it scary? Just kind of,
No, I mean, he's done it a lot, so you have to trust him. I think it's good for him to continue. You know, prior to week 1, when we were out there on the field, you know, I had told him to, and we're getting him more, but it was interesting because, you know, game 1, he had a little muff there, but because I want him to get more catches in the stadium. It's different in there, you know, when the wind's circulating and all that, so I'm trying to get him as many as he can. I think he gets more comfortable as he gets more reps in the stadium.
Mark, there was a stat that in the past 63 games that you coached, this is the best winning percentage for UK football since the 1950s. Just when you hear a stat like that.
I didn't hear that. Thank you. I didn't know, but those are the kind of stats you'd like to hear. You know, so we'll continue to try to do that.
Mark, you are appearing for us at a Monday news conference for the first time as an overall winning head coach. Do you feel smarter?
Well, there's a lot of things I could say there. I'll be misquoted. No, I really don't. I really don't. Just continue to do what I know. That's it. The best I can. I promise you, it's always been that way.
To be serious, though, given the whole, you know, came into a 2-10 program, started out 12-26, to get back to this point, I mean, that has to be a pretty satisfying accomplishment.
It's truly, I'm not just saying this to be boring. You know, I give you a couple clips here and there. I try to make your job fun too, but I mean, I am, you know, I am what I am. It's day to day. It really is. It's week to week. And that's how I look at it, you know. And I like my job, you know, and I like what I do. I like our team. I like the way where our program is right now, but it's truly one day at a time. You know, and I know how quickly that could be flipped.
Where does that come from that you never really like when we ask you about you? What is it that you just can't, or that, you know, success at all?
I mean, because it's not about me. You know, it's about our program. It's about our kids, our staff. You know, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I'm just a guy holding down the seat for right now.
Mark, speaking of the program, you talked about Eli's improvement. He was a guy who was fairly well respected coming out of high school, but not, you know, 5-star or whatever. But for him to work as hard, earn his spot, now he's making plays. What does that mean to the program? You got a local kid like that who's working so well.
It's very gratifying because he is what we thought he would be, a program guy, a guy to come in and develop and give you everything he has and play hard and play physical, and he's doing that. And again, I can't underestimate or, you know, I greatly appreciate our team, how hard they played. Again, we made plenty of mistakes in all sides, but man, we played hard, and I appreciate that because we challenged them all week to be physical and to, you know, play with with an excitement, with an attitude, because you know, again, I don't need to go back, but I felt like I was outcoached in that area a year ago against Missouri.
So now he's officially got a touchdown, which is an O-line.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
Is there anything in the plans that you can talk about as far as the field house is concerned?
The field house? You know, I mean, we need to address it. So, got my assistant AD. Mark Hill's back there. I mean, you're trying to get me in trouble on it. We need an indoor. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we need an indoor. I mean, You could do the research in the Power 5, how many teams don't have a full indoor. It's 2. Us and Dandy.
Mark, it looked like, I mean, obviously you can't talk about specific recruits, but it looked like on the field Saturday, having Ray here, there were a lot of guys who took notice of that. Did he get to talk to the team maybe?
He did not talk to the team. He wanted to be low-key, but it was great having him. Just a wonderful guy. He was up in just talked to him briefly before the game, and I'd met him several times. He didn't remember this, but I doubt he did. But I was at Miami at the time, and I was the DB coach, and we were playing Temple. I want to say Temple, and this was in 2000, 2001, one of those years, and we're dominating everybody. Won one national championship. We were undefeated, and then my next year was somewhere in that run, and Randy Shannon was the defense coordinator. Had to go up to the press box, and we were only winning by a few and not playing very good, uninspired football to say the least. And so Randy was like, gather them all up and talk to them and fire them up. So I did my best and brought up the Hurricanes, and we're getting on them. And then I saw Ray standing right there. I said, "Tell him, Ray." And he jumped up on the bench and went, "Ah." And we went on the second half and actually just imploded them. So, yeah. So he did a very good job. Mm-hmm.
Mark, Chris Oates' mom was on our radio show, and she said she can't get over the support from you all and the Big Blue Nation. And she said recruits are calling them to ask about Kentucky, and she's telling them flat out, "You got to go to Kentucky." Do you have someone working with you?
Well, we need to help Kim, more than she needs to help us, truthfully. And I wanted to put that message on the board last week, and I wanted to revive that because this is real. I don't know what we can help in the state, or what we need to do with insurance. Our university is amazing. Mitch and Mark and all these guys are amazing doing what we can do, and we all have. But it's monumental, the help that she needs. When I heard that, we had gotten her a handicapped accessible van to get Chris to his rehab and everything, and then it broke down on her on the highway, and she can't get him to rehab. I mean, that's a problem. And that's when I called on the Big Blue Nation. Certainly I'll do my part, and everybody will, but I need the help of the BBN. He's a wonderful young man. She's amazing, and she has to do an awful lot for him right now. And so, we love him and love her, and they're an inspiration to us, but we need help. And I think we're getting it to a tax-sheltered portion of it this week, if I'm not mistaken. What is it? Am I allowed to talk about that? But we're working on that. We need to, and I need to call in some of my friends. You know what I mean? That can do it, and she needs some major help, and we appreciate it, and we want to take care of her.
Mark, you always pay so much credit to the fans, and you open your post game by crediting them. Are you concerned that maybe this week they won't show up quite as well? What is it about magical nights like the other night that makes Kentucky stand out?
Well, it is. Our players deserve it, and we all want a successful program. Well, that comes with some sacrifice, and I greatly respect the fan base. You hear me talk about it a lot. I know it takes a lot to get to a game, especially early game. Get up, it's parking, fighting traffic. I mean, it should be beautiful. Hopefully the heat is gone and it should be a nice day now. But we give them a little past that first weekend because it's a holiday weekend, but there's no excuses now. We need to pack this place, and it makes a difference. You see our recruits talking about it. It's a great atmosphere. I greatly appreciate the support, but we need it, and we need it all the time.
Coach, on just about every drive where an offensive drive that ends in a turnover, your team comes back the next drive and scores. How does that speak to the level of the mental health of your team going into the next drive?
Yeah, it's a big part of it, being able to overcome adversity and momentum. And we're going to need to be able to do that throughout this year. It happens. And it's a big piece of our game, and you got to be mentally strong enough to overcome adversity. And I feel like our team has done that over the years, and I feel like this team will as well. There's a great deal of maturity and some leadership on this team.
I saw somebody mentioned that it seems like Liam goes back to guys if they have a mistake. It doesn't have that lingering quote-unquote doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah got the ball back to Chris. Is that kind of part of his nature to say, I'm going right back to you?
Well, it is, and I think that's he's a confident guy, and he instills that confidence in our team, and that says a lot, and that's the way it should be when players are deserving of it. If we can't trust guys, then we have a problem. But the guys we could trust, we could go right back to.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.